Hello and welcome to another not so little race that I did. I have been doing lots of races lately, but I just haven't had a chance to upload them as I was working on the ratings video, which just took forever. And I've also been having some issues with my microphone, which means that you've got a voiceover rather than hearing me panting for this race. So this race is a 105 kilometre race. Starts at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning for me, and involves climbing the volcano climb 3 times and the reverse hilly KOM twice, and is by far and away the longest race that I've ever done. So we start out in the desert, quite dull, not much there. Then we go up the volcano, come down, do the dirty suppressor, onto the reverse hilly climb, and then back out to the desert, lots more boring stuff, and repeat 2.5 times. I'm sure there is a market for watching me race around for 2 hours 40 minutes, but I'm just going to fast forward and get to the interesting bits. So this is the second half of the first climb up the volcano, and we're already down to a pack of 24. The lower half of the volcano was taken very sedately, really, and on the top half some people did push. My personal best is about 7 minutes 10, I think, and I think we did the first 2 in about 8 minutes, and I've just skipped now to the hilly KOM. Some people did try and get the jump on us to the first one, but didn't really succeed. And by this stage, this is about the length of my normal race, so I've got my sprinted mind on, and I'm getting a bit bored. So by the time that it comes to the final rise, I decide to step on it a little bit and see what everyone's got. And pretty much no one decides to follow me. Now this race was also a pack dynamics race, and if you look at the watts, you just see a little flash of red there where it applies auto braking. Now I think it only applies auto braking when you're at the front of the pack, and the idea is to try and reduce the pack speed on descents in particular, which I think is an excellent idea, and give breakaways more of an opportunity to get away. So hopefully see that in more effect in races in future, and give the brake a bit of a chance to get away, with descents normally killing it. Second climb up the volcano, again nothing spectacular, about 7 minutes 50, and the second and final climb over the hilly KOM, I actually spotted an opportunity where I could, it seemed like I could do for one of my rivals, Mr. Ravine, who's beaten me 4 or 5 times, 100% record of beating me up until this race. So I saw that he dropped off a bit, so I pushed on it a bit, and then he revealed that he dropped a chain afterwards, so that would have been a bit sneaky. But he called back on anyway, and we're down to about 13 for the final climb up the volcano. So I've slowed it down, and we're in the last 1.6 kilometers, so the second half of the volcano climb. We're down to 13 now, and we've largely been together, and all the names here I've been getting used to seeing over the last bit. There was quite a lot of squirreliness, if that's the word, on the final trek through the desert. I even made a bit of a run for it, paranoid about this Ravine guy who's beaten me 4 or 5 times, and because he's a lighter rider, I decided it would be a good idea to put some pain into him on the flats. But it really was a bad idea, and didn't really do anything. Well, nothing that I could tell anyway. So here we are, and some of the names that I've seen make moves during the race. There's Pickup, who seemed to be leading on lots of the climbs. There's Weber and Tobian, who seem to be doing a lot of work on the flats. And there's this Team El Giganten, who has an awesome sprint that I've noticed. And here we go, first sort of move being made by Tobian, is it? Now here I want to sit in the draft because I know there's a flattish bit here, so I deliberately let them get ahead of me and I can take in the draft. And if you see the draft number at the bottom, 75 at the moment, we think that equates to how many watts you're saving by being in the draft. So now that I've drifted to the front, I'm saving 0 watts. So I drop my wattage down to 200 and let these guys come past me. As we approach a not too steep bit, not getting too much draft here, and again I'd sort of drift to the front. Don't want to be too far off the front because I do want to be able to follow moves. And here's the first significant one from Tobian. So I decide to get on his wheel, saving about as many watts as you can on this climb really. Those behind me won't be saving much more. And this T guy, let's call him Mr. T, he follows as well. Ravine's a couple of seconds behind. Ringstrom, I've noticed, seemed to be a strong rider also, but they seem to be dropping off. And here's Mr. T in the grey top. It's Tobian in the blue and red. So I'll follow him. And Ravine seems to be catching, and here he comes. And he hits red numbers. Off he goes. So I close my eyes and give it everything I've got. And really putting down the power. Mr. T takes the front. Ravine seems to be dropping. And past Ravine. Can I get Mr. T? Oh, and there's the gate. I thought it was going to be right at the top of the volcano climb, so I thought I had that little kick at the end to try and catch him. But he was incredibly strong, and there was no chance of me catching him. But I was incredibly happy with this result. 2 hours 38 minutes. And I think if you look closely, you can see every single vein in my head. And every single sweat drop. And yeah, that's the result confirmed. So I was 0.4 seconds behind Mietensen. Sorry for mangling that name. But I did beat Ravine for the first time ever, so that was quite pleasing. And it's a bit of a shame that it didn't finish at the top of the volcano, partly to see what would have happened, but also I think I probably would have beaten my PB, maybe even gotten under 7 minutes. This race finished about a minute earlier than this, so might have had a chance at the 7 minutes, but never mind, I wasn't even thinking about that at the time. And it may look as if I changed tops during this race, but that red is actually the blood of my vanquished opponents, which I like to bathe in. So yeah, really fun race, really long, really good training, and that is the KISS 100. Give it a go sometime. Bye.